Okay, this is a video for the Texonic Marks radio package in the new H145. By now, everybody on the team should have had ASAT and at least a brief overview of this radio unit here in alignment with this control head right here. Quick review on the control head. You have your channel selection. For the most part, we're going to be in channel 3 or 4 for you guys. Right now we're in 3. 4 primarily is going to be the one that you're going to talk out on. It's basically kind of been deemed the med crew radio. You guys are able to talk out and in on that without disturbing us talking to Phoenix in front, which would be on COM 3 at all times. So anyway, we're selected 4. It's lit up 4 there. We have our master volume for all radios in the back. Little knob is intercom for everybody inside. These are all inactive, and you have your hot mic here, your push to talk button when you're transmitting out. Over here on the unit, the pilots need to have their avionics master switches on. It's part of the checklist pretty early on. So if this is ever black screened and you press power switch here and nothing comes on, it's because that switch isn't on in the front. But again, that usually rides in the on position for most of the flight. So if you do find the last crew hadn't turned it on, even with the switches on in front, it'll come up. It won't default to come on. You'll have to reach up here and press the power knob, which is right there. It's a multifunctional knob. It serves as volume, it serves as a scroll wheel, etc., to kind of come in and out of the system, changing channels and whatnot. So typically, for the most part, zone 1 and band 1, which is that arrow, all the way at the top here. It's kind of hard to see or focus on here. So there's a little side arrow in the column to the left of zone 1. For the most part, that's always going to say XCC air, that's Phoenix. And then you have another zone below it, or another line, and that's actually a physically different radio. There's 2 of them. They're literally the handheld radios that we carry around, taken apart and mounted in the center console between the pilots. So one radio is usually left on Phoenix, which will be that top position there. That'll push out on COM 3 on this control panel. And then COM 4 will be the second line, and that's generally what you guys are going to be using to talk out, call report, and whatnot. So the quickest way to get to that for you to change it, it's very simple. Of course, the power button has to be on. Everything will be lit up then. You're going to hit the band button, which is right here. And I see that arrow now drop down. Everything got dim except for that for a second. Now you're controlling that second radio. And then if you see next to band, there's an M up and M down. That's manual up and down. And just by pressing those, you will cycle through the pre-selected or pre-stored hospitals that we use commonly. So all of the ones on this little sticky note up here are going to be in that zone 1 for you, so you're not going to really have to change zones. And we cover that in a different video. But for now, real quick startup lesson on this is power on, band to get the arrow to drop down to the second radio, which is on COM 4. And then from there, manual up and down. We'll change the preset frequencies. These 4 up here are in there, and there's a list of probably another 10 or so on a sheet down below the vent. There's a little drawer, and there's a cheat sheet in there for you guys. Okay, so changing your zone to access the rest of the radio that's buried behind this panel here. We already know now we're in on the right band. We're changing the right channel. We're not impacting the pilots up front, changing their radio when they're trying to call Phoenix. As long as the arrow is down like that, that's what's being controlled. Not necessarily what's being transmitted on, but just what's being manipulated by the buttons on this remote panel here. If we want to change the zone, they kind of float these soft keys around on the radio. It's not directly lined up with the button you use, but right next to home, you're going to hit this dash. That's going to get to your zone selection. And of course, like I said in the last video, your power button serves as a selection device now. So now I can go. If you see the top right corner changing what zone, I'll just rotate that to my desired zone. And then the select knob, again, will be that side button there next to home. And I didn't change anything there, but if you wanted to go to zone 2, 3, or 4, you would do it that way. And then once you're in the new zone, as long as you're hit band and you're down here on the right zone identifier, the right line identifier, you can then manual up and down and change to whatever frequency within that new zone that you just selected.